Alright, hopefully we're getting somewhere. Let's see if it works. Chances are good it probably won't work. Ah, beans. Sorry this has turned into popcorn ASMR for the time being. I'm just having a lot of issues right now. Tell you what, if this isn't gonna work, then I'm just gonna switch softwares, because this is ridiculous. Shouldn't have to go through this just to get a Alright. We got it now, I think. So yeah, we got it now. We Gucci. We are good. Now let's turn off the stream latency, if we can. Guess we're not doing that. Alright, so yeah, finally. Now let's see if I can... Let's see if I can access the stream on my device so I can see the chat. There won't be any special chat or anything like that here. Just raw gameplay. Had to reboot? Yeah, I had to reboot because the software was not cooperating in the slightest. Rather unfortunate. But at least it works now. Now I'll start properly. Let's delete this old one. But yeah, in case you missed earlier, this is basically, if you've ever played anything like Factorio, this is one of those types of games. It's a factory management type game where you put in shapes. You take extractors and you put shapes on conveyor belts. It's super straightforward. And the music is, of course, incredibly relaxing. Things start out very simple at first. You've just got extractors and belts. You just extract the circles out of the thing. And like it says, you're not going to be wanting to stand still very much. It's very important that you get a good production line going. Once you get the mergers, it'll be a waste to have all of these, but for now it will do. And now we start with level 2, where we have to start cutting shapes. You feed them into the cutter and they get cut up into little pieces. And it's important which side you get too. For now, we'll have to trash the ones that don't quite fit, but there will be a way to deal with them later on. I have a hard time getting into games like these because I like to over-engineer everything and it gets rather stressful. And this game is no different. You may think it's fun in games now with just little shapes, but it gets harder. Oh, you've played this before then. Level 202? I have yet to reach that. Good to know I'm in the presence of a veteran here. I mean that in a good way, not in a demeaning way. I know I come across that way sometimes. But yeah, I just recently started playing it because I started playing the demo, and I've, been hooked. It's a good way to waste my time, which I've been looking for. But ultimately, do I feel like I'm getting something out of it? Yes, shapes. The most important things, after all. And contrary to what the game said, I am going to rework a lot of this later on. Here we go. Now that I've got this, I can free up some of these lines. Probably not super-duper important, but it will be useful. Just doing a bit of cleanup, of course. The mic sounds weird right now because I'm not, doing, I'm not using my mic proper. I'm just using my laptop mic because I didn't want to be bothered. Oh yeah, we do need to start chopping those squares, don't we? Well, we can do just that. Hopefully this doesn't create too much of a hold-up. A new upgrade is available. That happens very often. Looks like I should have kept these split in the first place. No problemo. I don't get why people say no problemo instead of no problema, because that's how it is in Spanish. I guess because problemo rhymes with no better. That's probably the reason. Now we just, put trash on the bottom ones. These are the shapes we need, I believe. Not gonna be able... I didn't leave much space to, do this. That's okay. The music at least makes it rather serene. I'm gonna try and stream some more different games as well. And of course get back to Persona 4 sometime soon. Here we go. Not sure how I feel about this right now. Yeah, there's no real easy way to move stuff yet, as you can see. At least we only need 170 shapes for now. Still need these raw shapes. But these shapes can probably be rotated. Actually, we could rotate these. We'll need to rotate them 3 times if my math is correct. And we'll also need to not put them in the trash so we can actually rotate them. There we are. Now we have a bit more production. We could probably rotate these too, honestly. And this. It's not going to need sideways shapes for any upgrades. Although we will need the shapes that are like underneath here. We'll get those later. Actually, let's just skip the process entirely and just do that right there. That trickle will be nice. I don't really have a lot to say, just focusing on the shapes. What did we just unlock? Oh yeah, the bridges. Honestly, because of the upgrade, I might just start a new shape thing up here dedicated to just cutting these circles. I think that's what I'll do. Save on space. I mean, you get more efficient ways of compacting things, but I just like doing this. See, this is why I can't enjoy factory management style games. Because I always try and get more and more efficient, and it just drives me up the wall. I'm just like that. Some people may call that being like OCD or whatever, but I call it being... But for me, it's just a case of being clinically insane. Okay, maybe exaggerating, but still. Let's see. I'm gonna put a rotator in with these and see which one will rotate to the appropriate thing. I could just rotate all of them, you know. It's gonna be this one, this 3, this one, this 3. And we're gonna have a similar setup down here at the bottom. Rotating 1, rotating 3. This is a lot more of a massive scale thing than I needed it to possibly be, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. It just means we'll get more shapes later. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with having more shapes. Well, this is going to be a problem. An easily mitigated problem at that. I'm not great at this game. I'll be the first to say that, but I do like it. A lot. And I just realized that I put them all in the wrong way. Wow. That is what we in the industry call a bra moment right there. Here at the shape industry. So what we're going to want to do is instead place these two over because of the, whatchamacallums, the, cutters that cut the shapes, you know? I wonder if I can rotate the cuts. I can rotate the cuts. And I think it'll be worth it too. We're gonna have so many of these shapes by the time we're done. Will we need them? Probably not. But is it fun? You bet. And having fun is what we care about here. Ooh. Yeah. We got this in the bag. How many of these conveyor belts we have? We can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24 of them. I think 24 is a good number. Definitely not overkill. And we're going to pass all of these down into one, because that's obviously a good idea. Never once in this game have I gotten to the point where I'm clogging them up with so many that I'm producing. Or just transferring them is a pain. But if that turns out to be the case, I'll have to reverse this. I don't think there are quite that many. This is the game about shapes, after all. The game of shapes is kind of like the game of life. Except instead of going around a board, you're just making shapes. You're at the daily grind. Of course, you could also be talking about Conway's game of life, which is completely different. I always got frustrated when I'd be talking about game of life, and or when people would be talking about it, and my first thought was always confusing it with Conway's game of life. I've never actually played the board game, The Game of Life. Here we go. Let's see how much this clogs things up. Sorry if the popcorn is too loud. I'm just eating popcorn right now. I'm trying to be quiet. Ah yes, hardly anything is moving, just the way I like it. This is a cursed image right here. Actually, I'm not going to trash these shapes. Things look like they're smoothing out gradually. We're not delivering shapes at the best rate, but we are delivering shapes. Painting. Alright, we got red circles now. Oh boy. Good old red circles. Luckily this map is a bit different. Now painting is where things you really have to get industrious. Because the painting takes a long time. Let's just extract all these dyes. And, yeah. We'll insert the dyes into the painter. Not the dice. We'll insert the dies. Let's see. I think we can go for painting 5 shapes at a time. And so things overlap properly, I'm going to provide this much space between each one, so that the paths don't have to cross over each other too much. I'm no expert in this game, but I do like it a lot, and that's what matters. I might have to use the bridges on these instead of those. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like that. Just so I can have some good distance. But can this go here? Absolutely not. That's awkward. Don't worry about it. We'll fix it. We got this. Oh, it congratulated me for painting my first shape. That is nice of it to do. Nothing wrong with that. I wonder if... Yes, this'll fit. But, Now fitting this will be the hard part. I don't know all the strats for making them efficient yet. Just from what I've been playing before. But looking at a guide to figure out how the shapes go most efficiently is kind of boring in my opinion. Part of the fun of the game is learning how to make your machines the most efficient. Know what I'm saying? That's nice. More clogging for the painters. What I'd love to be able to do is have the bridge go here, but we can't do that now, can we? But we can do... Oh, that would never do. How did I get in this situation in the first place? You might be wondering to yourself how I got in this situation. Well, it's all very simple. It all started when I was born. And now, here I am, putting shapes into a box. Yeah, now we can do this. And these we can merge as well without any worries of clogging up the system. Because they are not going efficiently at all. You'll see how slow the painting is later. Still going. Dang. That's some pretty hardcore shapes. I'll just stick them in here. What could possibly go wrong? This won't be a very long stream, because Shapes.io is not a terribly... It is captivating, it's just not a game I like playing in long stretches of time. freeing some of these up for later. You know, it'd probably be better if I didn't bother cutting these shapes and just use them to buy upgrades. But I'm going to save some of these cutters. Our shape production is not quite that fast to keep a constant stream going. It's just the fact that it's mixing in with all these circles, or squares rather, that's making it slow. I should probably temporarily halt square production for now on this front, so that as many of these can go through as they can, as soon as they can. That didn't work. Yeah, it's not a big deal. We're almost upgraded to the Tier 3 upgrade for belts. Once I upgrade my rotating, it will be easier. I'm also cutting the stream short because I need a good night's sleep. And it's getting a bit late for where I am. And there we go. Looks like we're going to do some blue painting in this level, which is nice because we have blue right there. Even better, we have some blues and some things next to each other. This game is very simple, and I think that plays in its favor. Magenta circles, huh? We'll get to those later. You can't make magenta circles right now. There we go, we'll make more of those for more upgrades. Gotta get that status quo somehow. I'm not dismantling these, I'm just repurposing them. Why not do this? We'll need plenty of these shapes too. So that's why I'm going all out on this. And we're going to need lots of production lines for this. The thing is, quantity is better for this. You're going to need lots of extractors for lots of painters. But the thing is, we're going to need to cut these shapes too. And I think I should just... There we are. Put them here for now. This might be tricky to set up. But you know? Not bad. What we're doing right here is called a pro gamer move. Hardly. I'm not a pro at this game exactly. We're gonna have a lot of shapes cut up in this thing. We'll be at maximum shape efficiency. 1, 2, 3, 4. $26 this time around. That's 2 more than 24, obviously. Definitely a step up from 24. Alright, what shapes need to be rotated some? I guess just the shapes that are like here. These will need a couple of rotations. $11.10 where you are. I'm trying to develop modules in free play. Very tedious in the beginning. And don't overflow belts. Oh yeah, overflowing belts is definitely not good for production. I'll do my best not to leave them overflowed. Do I have any overflowing belts over here? Ooh, I do have some. I'll fix those after I fix this. This is going to be interesting. Let's see, maybe I should start placing down my painters. I'll need 26 painters. I could just put one painter down for each line. I'd have to start... Let's see. Let's start with this, and then we'll scale from here. Oh wait, the paint's what goes in the top. I'm gonna have to start inserting shapes from here. That makes my job a little bit easier, actually. Because I can just do this. This will be more work for the belts going up, that's okay. It's going to be a long distance, but distance doesn't matter once you've got the production going, I suppose. Very easy to get the colors in. I'll have to use tunnels to make sure that the belts don't overlap. Oh yeah, paint shapes before cutting. A nice balance in between modules. Sometimes there is math involved. Paint shapes before cutting. Oh, that would definitely have saved a lot of space now that you mention it. Oops. Oh well. Well, now I'll know for future reference. I'm not gonna tear up all the groundwork that I have laid here, but for all the future stuff at least, I'm going to definitely try and save on the room. I'm surprised I didn't think of that. See, it's learning things like that that makes games like this fun. If you know the strategy in the beginning just by looking at guides, it's easy to min-max everything. But if you do it yourself, that's where the satisfaction comes in, and that's why I like playing these games. Whoa, what? That's gonna be a complication. Nothing these can't solve. Your speed is probably going to be a problem, but that's okay. I wonder what the maximum distance I can stretch is. It'll work. And there's something relaxing about working on these, just building them, making them bigger and bigger until you reach the end of your great project. Or just the end of your project in general. If I enjoy this, I might start streaming more puzzle games that I have, like Opus Magnum and some other games like that. Maybe even Factorio. I think a long time ago I did stream Factorio. If you dug up enough, you could probably find it. Learning how modules work and function is quite interesting. Exactly. That's what makes it so neat. Like, I kind of dismissed this game at first because I thought it'd be boring because it's so simple. But having played it for myself now, I see why the simplicity is so engaging. And I also realize I don't have enough paints for all these shapes. And I see what you mean about painting them before you cut them. That would definitely save on paint. Fortunately, I've been saved this time, and I have a bit more paint down here, but it definitely would have saved on paint if I had, yeah. Not only does it save on your paint, it also saves on your space. Let's start down here. Hopefully this will be enough. Starting to think it might not be. That's okay, I can always figure out how to make the most of my paint space if necessary. Yeah, I'm not gonna have enough room. That's okay. Or I'm not gonna have enough paint. But I'll figure it out. I would split up the paints, but there's not enough to go around. I don't believe. I probably could have gotten to the next level by now, but I want to make something that's going to produce a lot of these. Oh, only 2 left. Can we squeeze out 2 more? Probably can. I could do it from these others, but I want to squeeze out some of our existing reservoirs. If we can. Sure. Yeah, that's totally gonna work. Okay, well, this isn't gonna be pretty, but okay, it'll do. I think all the bugs in the game are fixed. That's good. I imagine a puzzle game with bugs would not be very fun. Well, it might be fun, if the bugs are intentional. There was a game jam about that once. I didn't enter it, because that was before I was really a game jamming person. Where was I gonna? Oh yeah. Sorry, scatterbrain me. And we'll do one more down here, because why not? I just realized, all these shapes are going to come out the bottom. I could merge them, I guess. We should probably figure out the logistics of this first. Well, first off, let's get this here. We're not going to have enough painted shapes to clog the production lines, I don't think. Let me have this leading off so I can have a better gauge of it later. If only I had those compact mergers that you get later, that would be so handy. But we don't. We gotta make the best with what we've got. That's just how life is. So in front of each of these, I'm just gonna put one of these for now. These regular balancers. Whew, just an oh no. Oh no, your machines are a mess. Yes they are. Let's just try going down here for now. We'll make do. There's always a way to do it. And if not, I can just not use some of these. Because it is quite excessive. I will admit that. But excessive is just another word for fun, after all. I'm sure I'll eventually learn all the efficient practices in this game. Okay. Now we can start pumping them out. Well, that was easy. Not. I just realized I'm gonna have to... Where was the paint supposed to go again? Oh yeah. If one of these stops supplying paint for whatever reason, then I'll know why. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to merge this too. Aha! What about this? Yeah, thanks to the fact that it's not coming out of here anymore, I guess it's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to use this, I think. Yeah, I know exactly what I need to do now. Here we go. Now let's see how the production is on these. Now some of these probably aren't gonna produce any. Well, that one's not producing any because I don't have any paint. I was looking for another source of paint. Oh yeah. Now we have this straightened out, we can, of course, just make shortcuts. Or, we can't actually, because of all these belts going up over and under each other. Organization is my passion, after all. You can very plainly tell how organized I am. Would have been a simpler solution to your problem, but keep the bulky factory. LOL. Yeah. That's the way a lot of these things are for me. There is a simpler solution to the problem. Now I got all these shapes. Man, lines are backed up, aren't they? Well, there's a very easy way to fix that, of course. Actually, no, it's a bad idea. That's just cutting off the overall flow. I could have 2 lines worth. I could try that, but there won't be enough room. I know what to do now. There we go. Another line won't hurt. Yeah. I'm gonna merge these lines anyway, so I guess there's not much of a point to having them separate, other than getting more of them across the map. But on the bright side, this is the first time I've been like clogged up on painted shapes. I feel like my grandmother, who like had like a million pairs of shoes because when she was little she didn't have very many shoes. And so to compensate for that deficiency, whenever she got older and was able to spend more money, she got many, many, many more shoes. She would never have to go barefoot again. Not the most elegant solution, nor the most efficient, but that'll have to do for now. Wish I knew how to figure out how to make these not so backed up. Well, I probably had to redesign the whole thing and give myself more space, but I don't have the tools right now to rip out massive parts of the factory easily. I guess I could have them all going on separate belts, but the way I got it right now, that'd be pain and suffering to try and get that rigged up. I don't want to deal with that right now. This'll do for now, because they are coming in like crazy. It's very satisfying nonetheless. They're all just narrowed down to a single line. Ouch. School is stressful right now. I'm in college and the work is never over. That's just the way life is, though. You gotta step up to the grind. I'd love to step up to the grind if my life weren't so stressful in general right now. There's a lot going on. I wish everything would just pause. But I try not to be one to complain. It's not worth complaining about after all. Besides, life's just like that. You just gotta pick your battles sometimes. Last year there was an assignment that I just could not do for the life of me because it involved having to record myself on camera and sending in footage, like of me talking, because we couldn't do it in person because of the pandemic. But it was a nightmare for me. I never could get the takes right, and I was so self-conscious, I just didn't end up doing it. Probably one of my weaker moments. But it was just a regular assignment. But you should never have that mentality. You should always try and do what you can. I sure am one to talk. Redesigning is nice to do because that is the joy of module building. That is true. I was just saying I'm gonna wait until I get like copy and paste before I start doing that though. Because that makes it much easier to move parts. I don't quite have the patience for taking out every single thing and rebuilding it from the ground up. Well, I don't know, sometimes it's necessary, but not yet. Some things don't need ripping out immediately, sometimes they just need tweaking. Now we've got to make a whole bunch of magenta, and this time I remember to paint the shapes before I cut them. But that's not going to matter now because I won't even need to cut them. Just need to mix them. I'm going to mix in this area, I think. I think that's enough mixers. Okay. I have no clue how much this is going to require. I didn't do the math at all. But it should be just fine. It'll be fine. Nothing will go wrong. I have 5 million blueprints. Or around 5 million blueprints. I think I have too much. Nah, dude, you got enough. You have just enough to work with. I used to play games like these more often. I guess I just got tired of them. Especially Factorio. I never had the energy to get past Steam. And I was always so stressed out because of having to manage the aliens. I guess there are less... Normally I like to play different types of games. This was not a good idea. I have to figure out how to get the red down here. Guess I could just use these. Nothing wrong with that. It's not like I'm gonna need this blue for anything. Ooh. That's going to be a problem. There's gotta be an easier solution. 32,000 belts. Gotta carry them around somehow. We'll just try and get the reds up to here for now. Imagine how I'm gonna get this all into Painter. It's gonna be an interesting journey for sure. There's gotta be a better way. Maybe if I... Yes, I know what to do now. If I just do that... Oops. And then I can do this. What? That's right, you can't overlap these. Well, there goes my strategy. can't get over him without overlapping. Unless I do this instead? Possibly. Still not enough space. Oh darn, that's just the cookie. That's just the cookies crumbling. If I could somehow get this here, that'd make things a lot easier. This might work, but then we don't have any from this. Cram's painter full of purple dye. Pretty much. Yeah, I can't do this with a single painter, obviously. I think after this one I might quit streaming for now. Because I do have to get to bed, maybe. This is a nightmare. But a fun one for sure. Well, if I build them out of range of each other... Aha! I just have to make them extra wide. Let's start out with this. That'll be easiest. No, I don't think the laws of physics will let me do that, unfortunately. Unless I can rearrange this whole mess. Yeah. Now we just... There we go. Now we gotcha. Whew, glad to have that under control. Kinda, sorta. I've lost all control of my life and my belts. Let the spaghetti factory begin! Pretty much. This is all spaghetti. Oh! Instead of making these overlap like crazy, let's just build these to face up. But yeah, the spaghetti factory. These are the meatballs. Don't ask why they're blue. You don't want to know where the blue meatballs come from. And there are these. Oh boy. Well, there we are. Time for magenta. Now where are the... Oh yeah, the spheres are all the way... Or not spheres. The circles are all the way down here. Next we're going to be building the spheres and cubes. How many are we going to need? For this start we'll need 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll need 8 to begin with. Not too bad. So that means we're going to need 8 painters in all. Paint goes in the... Now these are going to be coming up from the bottom, so we'll just put the paint up here. You know, instead of building one gigafactory for all of this, I've been thinking of just kind of building a bunch of smaller factories. Maybe that would improve production. Seems to me like that'd be much more feasible once I got the blueprint tools. So that is precisely what I'm going to do. Wait until I get blueprints, and then I will just go ham on the factories. Because with big factories like these, you have to worry about the logistics of where everything's gonna go. It's just a big mess. Absolute chaos. Nothing wrong with chaos, something's just gotta embrace it, but... Did I place down 8 of these? I don't think I did. No wonder I don't have the right level. There we go. Now we're talking factories. Time to pump in these dyes like I pump iron, which is not very much. Need to post some images of modules soon enough. If only you had all of the modules at your disposal. Yeah, they definitely make things easier. And I definitely realized that there's not going to be much space for shapes. That's okay. So we need 8. This should have enough. There we are. Let's start with 1. There's 1. We'll cross them. We'll, instead of... How about instead we do this? Start with these, go up here like this. This will become very interesting once we get more of these in. Guess I'll have to start using tunnels, which could get interesting, suffice to say. And then this happens. We will figure it out when we get there. Oh no. I want pocket dimension factories, but I bet it would not get upvoted. Well, no way of knowing until you try. And if you did, you can rest assured, I would smash that upvote button into oblivion. Very generously. Very lightly, rather. If I did it very generously, it wouldn't be very light, now would it? Well, I don't know. You could do something generously and also do it lightly, I suppose. Depending on what it is you're doing. If I did have all the modules at my disposal, that would be much easier to deal with, suffice to say. Maybe I can dip these conveyors underneath a little bit to provide a bit of room. Do the old tuck maneuver. Now here's where things get interesting. Ah yes, let's zoom around the speed of light. I'm glad I didn't decide to use all of these. Just one more. Looks like we're going to need some extra space. I bet that we're gonna have to do this. There we go. We did it. We did it, gamers. We ended world hunger. I wish. If this is all it took to end world hunger, I would do it in a heartbeat. Well, I would do it if it were harder, too. At least I'd try if I had the resources. I'm not meaning to imply that I wouldn't do it if it were hard, which it is. I like the songs in this game. They kind of feel like songs you'd hear in a montage or in some kind of corporate thing, which kind of fits the factory setting pretty well. If you want a game that really fits a corporate setting, though, that I'm going to stream sometime soon, there is a roguelike I've been playing recently called Going Under, and it's pretty fun. I like it a lot. It has that kind of corporate art style with like the flat people with the different colors. And the context of the game is that the dungeons are all failed startups underneath this company that's totally not Amazon. And you go down into the depths of these and take out their bosses, which in this case are their literal bosses. And it's super stylized, and I really love it because like the notifications are in the style of text messages, quest markers are on your cell phone. It's really neat, and it incorporates modern millennial/Zoomer culture pretty well, in a not cringy way, and it really plays into the aesthetic of the game. It's quite neat. And of course, being a roguelike, it has the semi-permadeath and the randomly generated dungeons. I guess it's more of a roguelite, though the terms have become fuzzy over the years. I'm not a hard-boiled roguelike stickler exactly. But Going Under is definitely one of the more unique ones I've played, and I like the ones that are unique. I want to challenge myself to use no trash cans on another game playthrough. Yeah, that'd be a good challenge to do, using all the buffalo, I guess you could say. Not letting any parts go to waste. Well, I guess this isn't going to work out as I expected at all. That's okay. Not entirely sure if I should just route these down, attempt to, or what. I could take them around. That wouldn't be too bad. And I could make a bunch more magenta, but then I'd have to make a bunch more circles. Although, once I get blueprints, I could just select this whole chunk and put it down here someplace. That's the good thing about factories. Like I said, I think that multiple smaller factories are probably a good way for me to go for now. And not to worry about the mega factories until later. And here's where we're starting to actually lose spheres. Circles, sorry, I want to keep calling them spheres. They're very plainly not spheres. I know they're not spheres. Spheres are 3D. Circles are 2D. I know my shapes. So let's just do this. This will help clear up the production line a bit. Yeah, after this I think I'm definitely going to go to sleep. I have class in the morning. But yeah. It is possible, because you can still dispose of shapes and dyes. Yeah, I guess you can, technically, because... well, I'm sure there are ways to do it. You know, I'm curious. How did you find out about this stream? Were you subscribed to my channel, or did you find it through one of the Discord chats or something? Level 9 completed. Here we go. This is the thing I wanted earlier. Oh yeah, this is one of the shapes we're going to need to produce a lot of, I guess. But yeah, I think this will be all for me for tonight. Tomorrow, or I don't know about tomorrow, but sometime I'll get back to streaming and I'll start making these little cyan ninja star type things. What kinds? I guess they're just regular stars. They look like ninja stars. Or shurikens, as some people would call them. Myself included in some situations. We also gotta make cyan dye. Which shouldn't be too bad. We've got a good spot here to start production on the little factory. Ah, what the heck. I'll just do one more little bitty factory. Actually, forget it. I'm going to bed. I know that if I say just one more, I'm going to not quit. So yeah. There we are. That was the first Shapes.io stream. I hope that you enjoyed it. It's quite different than usual, but I think it was pretty fun. Anyway, I hope you all have a good night, and yeah, God bless. And